Hey guys, so happy Tuesday. It's the second trading day of the year. And for this video, I want to talk about the PSEi hitting 7134 at the closing. We're going to talk about different aspects of the movement and Dito, Puregold, MerryMart, ABS-CBN, AC Energy. So just to give you also context on the structure of how we're going to do this particular video, we're going to talk about the price action of the market altogether. Then we're going to talk about ABS, AC Energy, MerryMart, Puregold, and end everything up with Dito. For those who are asking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, please watch the video yesterday where I gave my opinion reference also about those asset classes as well. So let's begin and let's continue our current discussion on the markets as we somehow give a sense of how the markets are moving, at least for the year. So the PSEi closed at 7134. As of yesterday, it was 7197, bringing it down to around 0.88%. Value turnover is still respectable as of the time we're making this video. It was around 11.1 billion. So we're seeing high volume over the past month still, which I like, because any significant movement should be accompanied by volume, and the more liquid the market is, the better it is for us also as a whole. Foreign buying and selling for the day, we have continued net foreign selling. So a slew of net foreign selling over the past few weeks also, and I think that's hampering the movement up that we're seeing. As what I've been saying in the previous videos, that for it to be sustainable, any movement up, there has to be foreigners willing to buy it at a higher price. And by the time we're making this video, a lot of the uncertainty from 2020, like the US elections, the vaccine, the lockdown, what will the GDP be, they've been already somehow been factored in. They've already been disclosed, and it's in anticipation already of what semblance of recovery we'll have also for 2021. So this is what I believe, though. From a general economic standpoint, I believe the economy, in terms of growth, now will be better because of the negative growth that we had, or at least the contraction that we had for 2021. It's easier to move up if you're coming from a lower base. So I think how fast will we be in that aspect will be predicated also on how soon everything goes back to the normal, regardless if it's the vaccine or consumer confidence. And if you've been seeing it naman lately, I think people have started to go out. There's a better sense of more transactions, and there's a larger sense also that people are being some people are being careful, some people are not being careful, but more people are going out, which is good because it increases the transactions for the economy. General movement for today. Largest movers: SM Prime, AEV, PLDT, Meralco, URC, at least for the PSEi. So this is the chart for the PSEi as of today. It's still, as you can see, yesterday was a green candle, today is a red candle. It's still moving in this particular sideways range. It still hasn't changed. The main support that people should watch out for is the 7,040 line. So that's what I've mentioned in the video yesterday. The larger, longer uptrend is still intact. The smaller uptrend, which started from the bounce of October, at least the third week of October, that's the one that got broken a couple of days ago. That's why we're starting to move sideways. So if there's one thing that I'd like you guys to watch as of now, please watch the 7,040 support level, because that's something very, very significant, because that could lead to two things. It could show us, if it bounces off 7,040, that we have a current consolidation from 7,040 to 7,316, and that would be the shorter consolidatory movement. But if 7,040 does not hold, then it opens up the opportunity for the market to go down to the 6,375 level. So failure to hold 7,040, which we've been talking about over and over, will just bring the PSEi back to the 6,735 support level. So current supports right now, 7,040 and 6,735. I'll keep you updated how we continue to progress in this. Anyways, ABS-CBN had a bit of movement for the day. As you can see here, ABS closed at 13.7 pesos per share, up 17.5%. But intraday, it was relatively higher as it opened at 14 and then closed at around 15 pesos per share. as you can see it also here, value turnover is not, um, it's not as high as what we would normally see for other stocks that have been moving massively over the past weeks. Value turnover for this is just at 62 million pesos. Again, this is a local, it's mostly locally bought for the day. No foreign transactions were made on ABS-CBN. As evidence also here, you see majority of the movement brought about just by Call Financial. Couple of things that I want to mention. Highest point for the day is 15. Open at 14, highest point is 15. So from 15 pesos going to 13.7, there was already a price rejection at the 15 peso level, predominantly because this was driven by news. What's the news? I don't know if you've seen it, but in Congress, Vilma Santos is about to file a bill to give ABS-CBN a 25-year franchise. And on the Senate naman, Tito Soto, Senator Tito Soto, is filing also a bill, or has filed a bill, filing a bill to give ABS-CBN a 25-year franchise. So please do note, all of the price action that we saw last year bringing ABS-CBN down was predominantly because ABS-CBN lost its franchise, and now these two bills, although it, of course, this has to be approved, this has to get passed, this has to be signed also by it has to pass Congress, has to pass the Senate, and it has to be signed by the President. This is still at a point where we have to see how it will possibly go, how the approvals will go, how the votes will go, and how ultimately the President would decide on this. So I'm saying that whatever you see here, we saw here, that whatever movement is here from 14 to 15 to 13.7, giving it a 17.5% movement up, is predominantly based on this news item that, again, we still don't know what the outcome will be. Now, looking at it from the charts, this is how it looked like. The news triggered the gap up. As you see here also, volumes were lower from October 15 all the way to yesterday, with the exception of the large movement that we had today. But even the large movement that we had today isn't as big as what we saw on the first week of October, where boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successive days of movement up for ABS-CBN, followed by large volume. But the volume today is not as big as the volume that we saw the first week of October. So that being said, gap up. But as you can see here, for those who attended our Stock Smart sessions where we talked about candlestick analysis, as you can see, the wick for the highest point showed you a price rejection, which caused it to go to 13.7 pesos per share. But the gap up was predominantly by the news. And here's what's so interesting about it. I believe the price rejection was mainly because of the resistance at the 15.05 level. So the movement today that we saw for ABS-CBN did a couple of things. It broke past the 12.96 resistance. It also broke past the 200-day moving average. It broke past the 20-day moving average. And in the same way, it also broke past the 50-day moving average. So strictly from a technical analysis point of view, breakout from 20-day, breakout from 50-day, breakout from 200-day, breakout from 12.96 peso support level, but you have a resistance right now at the 15 peso mark. So that being said, that's their possible range, or that's a possible progression where ABS-CBN is. So now, a couple of things that we need to watch out for. Since the stock closed at 13.7, its current resistance that we are looking at is 15.05, and its current support levels at 12.96. So again, please write this down. Resistance 15.05, support 12.96. I hope you guys are learning. Comment below if you're learning. Comment if this is something that's helping you. And for those who want to know more about technical analysis, we have a very, very small group live training course in Makati coming in the next few days. It will be in the end of January for those who want to join us. I think we have 3 to 4 slots left. Link is in the description below for those who want to be part of it. And those who also want to learn technical analysis, we have links in the description for those who want to learn via my books or other videos as well. So everything you need to know about me, you'll see in the link down below. Anyways, let's continue. AC Energy, down for the day, 9.58 pesos per share. It's down 6.08%. Value turnover for the day was around 680 million, so very, very high. And that's what I wanted to say, relatively speaking. The value turnover of AC Energy versus ABS-CBN medyo super layo in difference. It got sold down today, 6.08%, making it close at 9.58. In terms of local and foreign, foreigners actually bought, but the degree of foreigners buying at 27 million net foreign buying is way far also from the local buying and selling. That being said, please do note one of the reasons why I believe there was short-term selling for today is please do note that of this particular date, stock rights offering ends this Friday, January 8th, 2021. So um, it could be that a lot of people are anticipating and pinapangunahan na yung date. That's why people are taking advantage and selling also for the short term. So that's the one. Aside from the fundamentals that we've mentioned a couple of months back, nothing much has changed in its fundamentals. It's pretty much whatever movement that I think we're seeing over the past days and weeks is predominantly triggered on news on the SRO and whatever we're also seeing, we could actually analyze it from what the technicals are telling us. Now, this is a chart for AC Energy. As you can see right here, this is the first red candle that we've seen since December 15 from the large, massive breakout that we've seen, large successive green candles that we've seen. This is the large red candle. And that being said, please do note that our support right now is at 6.6 pesos per share. So further selling next should selling happen from a technical perspective, the area where we could find a support that has shown us evidence from a previous resistance is at the 6.6 level. So please do write this down. Should selling happen next possible, stronger support at least as of the time we're making this video, 6.6 pesos per share, followed by the 5.84 mark. But if you follow this trend line, currently also AC Energy is still progressing and moving towards the upward trending slope or line. Anyways, MerryMart also was down for today. So what's so interesting is the PSEi was down, ABS-CBN was up, AC Energy is down, MerryMart is also down. MerryMart hit 7.38 pesos per share. Percentage, it's at 7.63 down. Value turnover for the day is around 882 million pesos. Foreigners bought very, very minimal at 8.2 million pesos. It's still up until now for locally driven. From a tech point of view, this is how it looks. It's a first red candle after the breakout that we saw a couple of days back. And looking at it from a tech point of view, our current support level for MerryMart is at the 6.4 level, which if you draw the line here, it's somewhere around here. So possible retracement, should a retracement happen, is this. And then as you can see also, there's a price rejection. From an intraday standpoint, the stock opened at 8.01, hit a high of 8.56. Selling happened 8.56, and as the selling was stronger, it even pushed below the opening price of 8.01, making it close at 7.38 pesos per share. So chart-wise, that's what it looks like. 8 pesos all the way up to 8.56, then closing lower at 7.38. But then again, please do write this down. Support is 6.41. Followed by 5.77. Another stock that I want to talk about and highlight is Puregold. As you all know, I've been mentioning Puregold as a supermarket grocery, is something that's relatively a necessity during this new normal. But as we start to open up the economy, people have been going out and spending also has shifted quite a bit, not purely on the basic necessities anymore. It has shifted as the economy started to open. But from a tech standpoint, or at least from a price standpoint, this is the lowest that we've seen Puregold for quite a couple of months. Close today was at 38.4, opened at 40. From yesterday's close at 41.05. Hit the opening today was its highest already, only to see it to close at 38.40 pesos per share. This was the largest movement down that we've seen for quite some time also, making it close at 6.46%. Foreigners sold 85 million. Value turnover for the day was 215 million pesos per share. This is how it looks. As you can see right here, no, sa pinakadulo na part, large red candle from a tech analysis standpoint. This is a large red candle, large selling pressure here, accompanied also by volume. And as you can plot it right here already from the get-go, you see that it broke this level of support, and it's already trying to, if you'll allow me to plot this, it's trying to build its own downward trending line. So as of now, we can see that this downward trending line is quite intact, trying to push Puregold lower, and we can also see that it broke past this level of support for the short term. So analyzing it from this chart, Puregold broke past this level of support. Puregold is trying to form a downward movement. For those who like triangles, this looks like a descending triangle. So in terms of signals, trend for Puregold, based on this, looks like it's sloping down. From a support and resistance perspective, it looks like this support is broken. Then from a candlestick perspective, you can see right here that large red candle breaking from a level of support with volume. And lastly, uh, from a from a chart pattern perspective, it looks like it's forming a descending triangle. Now, given that it's breaking down, here are its next possible support levels: 38 and 34.32. By the way, forgot to mention this, MACD is also below the zero line level, and short, mid, and long-term moving averages as of now showing you that it's relatively bearish, and it's confirming the breakdown from this particular level. So I repeat, Puregold broke down. The next possible support levels 38 and 34.3. Lastly, let's end this with Dito. We are currently at the 16-minute mark. Comment below if you're learning, and comment if this is something that's helping you. And I'm excited, no? We're gonna hit the 200,000 subscriber mark. It's just amazing. For an investing channel, which is something that's not so popular for Filipinos, because really, it's investing is not something that's talked about as much. But the reason why I'm motivated to do what I do is I really just want to change the narrative that we really need to invest. We really need to give a preference, or at least a larger sense that kailangan natin matuto mag-impok, kailangan natin matuto mag-save, and above and beyond that, kung may sobra pa tayo, kailangan natin mag-invest. And I just want to change the narrative for Filipinos, that I want to be part of that counterculture, that the Filipinos' lives are better because they save, because they invested for the future. And I really believe the stock market, if it's done right, done properly, studied well, is something that can help you build asset class and build cash flow and build capital appreciation for you for the future. So anyways, so yun pala. Before, I just wanted to thank you. I never thought that we would hit 200,000 subscribers, since that normally Filipinos like entertainment channels. It's amazing that we're building something that it's gaining momentum, that Filipinos are placing a preference on learning. So to the 200,000 people watching this channel, I'm just gonna keep on hustling. I'm just gonna keep sharing my ideas and my thoughts to all of you, because I really believe that investing is the game. So for Dito, this is how it looked. It may look that Dito closed up, no, 13.4, 2.92% up. Value turnover is high at 2.2 billion. But what's interesting, and what I'd like you guys to see, is um, it opened at 39.92. Please do note that it hit a high of 14.74. So from, at least from a price standpoint, no, it hit 14.74 and it got rejected. We saw a price rejection intraday for it, that the closing price is massively far already from the highest point for the day. So selling happened at the very least for Dito. Now this is how it looks. Of course, you saw it open close to the 13.92 level, and the fact that it closed at 13.4 confirms our red candle. So intraday, open, hits a high, selling happens. As the selling happened, it was strong enough to go lower than the open. This is similar to the pattern for at least Acen and as well. But at the very least, it was relatively higher than the closing price of yesterday. But as you can see right here, from a trend standpoint, the trend is still intact. The upward trend is still intact. If you're asking me from a support and resistance level, the support and resistance level from here is what you need to watch out for. So should selling happen, this is our next possible support. I think this is at the 8.49, 8.5 level as well. So as long as Dito is getting a lot of requests, and as long as the volume is there, we're gonna keep talking about this, so you guys get updated on how it's supposed to go and where it's supposed to go and what the next possible support level is. For those, by the way, asking for the fundamentals of this and other underlying other underlying news items for this, you can watch detail in the previous videos that I created for it. If you guys have questions, feel free to put it in the comment section below. If you guys have questions, you can send them DM via our Patreon community. Link is in the description below, or via my Instagram at Marvin Germo. So I guess that's it. If you have not subscribed yet, appreciate it if you could click the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing in the markets. I have two channels. This one at Marvin Germo where it's almost 200,000, and then this second channel where I used to do a lot of technical analysis also there. So I'm still trying to find the time to still maintain both channels. And if you're new to this, I just like to say this: please don't buy, sell, hold, or avoid a stock just because it's discussed here on YouTube. Please take the time to study because it's your money, it's your responsibility. Do not buy just because you see it in TV, in YouTube, or you have your friend tell you this is for data and information purposes only. But ultimately, it has to be you who has to make the decision whether you should trade or transact uh, with your money, because again, it's your money, it's your responsibility. So there, I hope you guys got a lot, and I hope that this is something that was insightful, and I hope this helped you because again, that's all I want. I just want to give you the most value as possible. So that's it. Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. Stay tuned. 8 p.m. We have Chinkitan, Paulo T. Big, and Sean Si back for the second part of our podcast series. Bye, everyone, and God bless you all.